Some of us are where we are because of our values. Like giving you an example, some of us, we have the bank balance that we have because of the values that we have. We get people out of trouble all the time. Somebody's stuck, you are the first one that they call. They be like, hey man, please, I'm stuck with 1, 2, and 3. And because they know that you're gonna go in and help. Why? Because there is a certain value that you score high on. It might be the value of kindness, it might be the value of empathy, so on and so forth. Hi, greetings everybody. Thank you so much. I'm excited today because it's Monday and I'm going to be talking to you and we're going to be sharing things that are hopefully going to inspire you. If they don't, and then they will hopefully also, educate you or steer you to a certain direction that is favorable for you and for the things that you want to do for yourself. Today, I would like us to talk about values, our values. Let me start it this way. As human beings, we don't see the world as it is, or we don't see things as they are. We see them through the lenses of our values. Giving you an example, if maybe I were to say a swear word now, that would mean a different thing to different people. Someone might see it as just a word because of he might be used to be talking that way. Someone might be seeing it as something that is derogatory or something that is not, for a lack of a better word, that is not a good thing to say. Why? Because our values are different. Some people, they will definitely decide not to do business with you because you ascribe to certain values that are clashing with their values. And why I want to talk about values more than anything, it is because our values are very important in a sense that they shape our worldview. We see the world through them. Like I said, we don't see things as they are, we see them through the lenses of our values. So the most important thing, especially for Monday motivation and for high performance, to note about values, it is that we might have this thing that we call ambivalence, or they would normally call it in psychology, they call it like cognitive dissonance. But I like to call it ambivalence. That's when we have a clash of values. It means you have two values that are very, very, very important to you, but they are clashing. And as a result, they might lead you to not being able to reach your goals. Let me give you an example. If you are, like, for instance, let me take myself as an example. I'm a people-oriented person. So it means people's emotions and empathy, all of those things, I score very high. They're like on the hierarchy of my values, those values, they score high. Things like empathy, things like care, kindness, so on and so forth, right? And then what I will do now, I'll be like, I want to open a business and then do this specific thing. If I believe to a certain extent that my business model violates, people's well-being, or it violates my value of care and kindness and empathy, there is a high possibility that I won't price my services correctly. There is a high possibility that I won't be able to negotiate strongly when I talk to my suppliers or my customers or my clients. Why? Because the thing that I will be doing, it does not address my high value of empathy. That is very key, that is very important. Some of us are where we are because of our values. Like giving you an example, some of us, we have the bank balance that we have because of the values that we have. We get people out of trouble all the time. Somebody's stuck, you are the first one that they call. They be like, hey man, please, I'm stuck with 1, 2, and 3. And because they know that you're gonna go in and help. Why? Because there is a certain value that you score high on. It might be the value of kindness, it might be the value of empathy, so on and so forth. So in other words, then our values can get us into trouble, or they can be the source of the things that we are enjoying in our lives. Now the question is, how can your value be a source of your happiness or be a source of your sorrows, so to say? There is one thing that actually dictates which direction will your value take you to. And that thing is the foundation on which those values are founded. So if your values are founded on the predication or are founded on the foundation of fear, vessels being founded on the foundation of love, then you'll know that those values will create problems for you. When your values are founded on the foundation of love, what do I mean by that? It means that they are not triggered or they are not predicated on the foundation of fear. So you don't have that value because of you fear something. So for an example, let's say I come to you and say, hey man, I'm stuck, I need money, help me out with this and that. If you do not fear that I might see you as a bad person, then you will make the right decision at that point in time. The right decision in the sense that you might not have that money, for instance, or maybe the right decision that you are aware that your help is causing this person not to grow. That might be one of the things. So what am I saying to you today? It is that, ladies and gentlemen, it's very much important to know what your values are. And once you are aware that these are my values and they have actually been creating my life or making my life turn out the way it has been turning out over the years, so to say, then what is it that I can do to make sure that my values are no longer causing trouble for me, but they become the source of my happiness? The idea is not to change your values, but to change their foundation. Which wall are your values leaning against? If they are leaning against the wall of fear, that wall will collapse, for sure. But if they are leaning against the wall of love, they will actually stand. By the wall of love, I'm talking about the foundation, like they are formed on the foundation that is empowering, not the foundation that is actually, tapping into the frightened part of you. There is a frightened part of you and there's an empowered part of you. There is a part of you that is able to do and resolve each and every single thing that is thrown at you. If your values are predicated on that foundation or leaning against that kind of a wall, then definitely I can promise you now that for free, that definitely your values will create happiness, will create joy, will create more sustainable things for you than they would create misery for you. But your values can definitely create misery for you if they are leaning against the wall of fear, if they are leaning against the things that you are that are actually tapping into the frightened part of you, the part of you that is not empowered, the part of you that is always running away from something. Think about it. It's a very deep thing. It's something that is not so easy to actually unpack, but at least we have started something today to say that I have these values, I need to interrogate them, I need to check them, what wall are they leaning against or what foundation are they formed on. And once you do that, then you are getting a step closer to unpacking the things that have been pulling you back. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Love you so much. This is me, Michael Tsepotabani, signing out from High Performance. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. Cheerio.